Howdy Wanderers, it's me again. Now, this video is going to be about my other home, my sort of new home, really, because right from the very early days of my relationship with Noi in Thailand, I occasionally visited her hometown, which is Isaan, way up in the northeast of Thailand. And I was always there. Whenever she goes back there, there's always a huge crowd of people because they all love her very much there. And when she comes back home, the whole family descends, you know, and whatever. So it's difficult to get a handle on it, really. But I always thought that one day I would like to come back there on my own and just experience what it's like when there's no one else around, because I suspected it's really as quiet as hell. And I was right. And it took many, many, many years, but last year in 2025, I made my first solo visit, which was just for 1 week. And then subsequently, I made another solo visit for slightly longer than that. But this video kind of encompasses at least the first 1 week visit. Enjoy. And this is what I waited 30 years to experience. I've been coming here to Noi's hometown for all that time, and it was always as a part of a big group, because it was something like a Songkran where there were loads and loads of people, but I always wanted to experience it like this when there's only me, and that's what it's like right now. There's only me. It's incredibly quiet, as I always figured it would be, and a lot of things have changed around here, but I always imagined that this is what it would be like. So this is just 5 minutes at least of pure heaven. And as this was my very first trip, I had nothing. I had no car, no motorbike, nothing. And the house was in a very, very basic way. One of the things I went up there to do was to make a list of all the improvements I'd have to make to the house to make it suitable for me to live in. So you'll see the progress that's been made in due course on that. But on my very first morning, I had my first shock when I walked down to the lake and beheld the changes. How things have changed. When I first started coming here, this was where the road ended. Behind me is Noi's little village, and here is the huge lake that she lives by, or lived by. This is where she grew up, where she was a little girl. And her mother used to own land, which is now at the bottom of that lake, because this is a man-made lake. The dam is way downstream to our left. But the road ended here, and it dipped down sharply, and it just turned into a little dirt track that was, sometimes at low water you could walk across the dam. Sorry, you could walk across the lake, but most of the time it was submerged, so there was no way over there. And now look at it, it's a permanent road. It's amazing. I used to walk around down there. It's all been cultivated now, which is a good thing. When I first came here, maybe I've even got the photos, but I used to walk around down there and it was lake bottom, and it was just covered in cockle shells and God knows what else. So yeah, it's changed a lot. Nice to see the football field is still here. Every Songkran when I first came here, they always had a big football tournament here during the Songkran holiday, and I guess teams from different villages, and they'd all have their proper football strip and everything. It was all done on a pretty official basis, and yeah, one of the things I used to enjoy. Don't know if they still do it or not, but the last time I came here, Songkran, wasn't that long ago, and it was all very, very low key compared to what it used to be. You know, no parading around the streets, no big parties. You know, it was all a bit disappointing. Songkran here, when I first came here, was really quite a big deal. One mustn't forget that it's still the rainy season, and it's going to be the rainy season for a while yet. I went out for a walk around the streets just now and I got caught in this lot, so I made my wet way back again. I'm sitting here in a towel now. Cheryl will come later, I suspect. Yeah. Coziness. As I said, Thai people love dodgy loudspeakers, and here we can see it. 6 o'clock in the morning, these buggers started. This is a travelling market that goes from village to village, annoying people. And it's there by 6 o'clock, and it's gone by midday. But later on, we had this going on, and it's nice to see that traditional village life still happens. Why I didn't video them as they went round the corner, I do not know. And the charm of cows going through the village kind of adds to it as well. And now we come to the question of exercise. Now, wherever I go, I need exercise. It's the only way that I keep going, really. It's the best anti-aging medicine in the world, so they say. But where do I do it? Up in darkest Isaan. I've tried walking around the village and it's absolutely horrendous because the place is full of these stinking feral dogs, and they like to protect what they think is their house, you know, so they come rushing out barking and showing aggression, and you know, I hate dogs like that. I absolutely loathe them. I did find that if I got on my little motorbike, which I don't have at this point, and rode to the edge of the village, from there on, they're just country roads through the fields and whatever, and there are no dogs out there. So that was my cunning plan. I checked out a route that was 3 kilometers out and 3 kilometers back, same as Bang Wad, and I was good to go. So here we are. Just out on a walk. This is the only place I can walk. Well, places like this where there are no dogs. The dogs live in the villages, so it's really hell walking through the village streets. But here there are no dogs, so it's relatively painless. But interesting. This is what all this Isaan country used to be like a long time before. I mean, I'd like to say it's a jungle, but it's not. This is deciduous forest, really. But before this became this, cleared for agriculture, it was all like this. And Isaan is now, it's not the bread basket, it's the rice bowl of Thailand. And sugar, the sugar bowl and the rice bowl of Thailand. And just because it's the rainy season, let's have a bit more rain, shall we? And I shot this view of the house from outside at night, and you can see it looks very, very nice. It's a lovely house. I like it much better than my house here. And now let's get on to Arkwright's store, open all hours. You probably have not heard of it if you don't come from Britain, but Open All Hours was one of our most successful sitcoms starring Ronnie Barker, and it portrayed a really mean old guy who ran a little corner shop that serviced all the local terraced houses around where I grew up. As a small boy, it was just the same. There were these little corner shops around that sold everything and were open from dawn to dusk. And Arkwright's shop was open from dawn to dusk, well, dawn to well after dusk. And also, next to Noy's house is the local convenience store, which is also like the social gathering place of the village. And every time I see it, it reminds me of Arkwright's store. So I took some videos of the place, and we'll see.
Arkwright's store. It's 4:30 in the morning. They must have been here since 4. Indeed, open all hours, and I'll get some shots of them working during the day. It really is the heart of the village, and he's going to be there. He closes about 8 o'clock tonight. That's one hell of a long working day. Hell of a long working day.
So it's about 7 o'clock now, and yep, he's still open. Last night he quit early. He was gone by about 7:30. He was all shut up by 7:30. Normally he doesn't leave until about 8 anyway. Let's see what time he leaves tonight, if I'm still around. It's 6:30 now, and he's starting to put everything away. But the last customer always keeps coming in. It's amazing. Really great business. I'm sure he could sit there all bloody night. People would come in, but after a while it's just not worth it, is it? But yeah, he'll be closing down soon. So now it's about 8 o'clock, maybe a little after, and they've just been having a little family dinner in there, and now he's closing up shop, and there's his car he's going to drive home. Shut it on. Good night. No. It's a weird feeling for me. I don't know. I feel it quite strongly. It's, I love watching it sort of this time of night, every night, and it's like the cultural heart of the village has just stopped beating. And he'll be back here at 4 a.m. to open it up again. Even Arkwright couldn't do that. This is the last clip that I shot on that trip, and the reason I was concerned about the approaching storm Bummybol, or whatever it was that the next day, very early in the morning, I was going to be taken to Udon Thani Airport to fly back to Phuket. My first solo visit was over, and it was a great success. Well, it's 5:30 and Typhoon Bummybol is about to make landfall over Vietnam, which isn't that far away, and it's headed right in this direction. And the sky looks clear, doesn't it? However, it's going to be coming from the southeast, which is over there, and it's starting to look a bit dark and threatening, so we better buckle up because it's going to be a rough night. I come there with nothing, and hadn't bought any items for the house or anything like that to make my life easier, but figured out how the TV worked and figured out how all the lights worked, which in that house is a real maze, and established a lifestyle that I could live, you know, a routine and whatever. And subsequent visits have just added to that. So that's why I class it as a great success. And obviously, people in the village got used to having me around and knew who I was and whatever, you know, they said hello. And especially the kids, you know, when I walk past their school, they all go, hello, hello, hello. So yeah, it was a great success. One subsequent visit, a long visit with Noi, got me on the road to transforming the house, you know, buying furniture for the inside and this and that, washing machine, and sussing out a list of things that needed to be done. And then my last solo trip there was more of the same. And the last trip was incredibly hot, and living in that room in the main living room, which is huge, was just, you know, I cannot imagine how they used to live there when there was no air conditioning, no fans, no nothing, you know. So I'm going back soon, knock on wood for good luck, and my next trip, the priority is going to be get a big air conditioner in the living room and to put a set of floor to ceiling curtains as a divider to halve the size of the floor area. so that it's air conditionable, and after that we should be comfortable. That's the task. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.